Did he go under the knife, or did age catch up to him? Simon Cowell has been looking noticeably different in recent years. What did he admit to? As a star who has been judging contestants on reality TV for more than 20 years, Simon Cowell is a familiar face on both American and British television. So when he started looking different, viewers noticed. Not surprisingly, Cowell's seemingly altered facial features have led to much speculation that he's had some work done along the way.
A friend of mine messaged me and said, "What the F has happened to Simon's face?"
Speaking with Radar, aesthetic injector Christina Kitsos, who confirmed she'd never treated Cowell, shared her opinion about what was going on, saying, "Simon Cowell has had too much Botox in the lateral forehead, causing the sides of his eyebrows to droop down like that. I strongly advise my clients to do a little and add to it if necessary. Therefore, they look rested and natural. This is definitely a case where less would have been more." Of course, Cowell has been in front of audiences for a long time, and this is hardly the first time he's changed his looks over the years. Cowell has been a public figure for decades, and his time in the music industry started early. He was born in 1959, and his father, Eric Philip Cowell, was an executive in the music industry, while his mother, Julie Brett, was a ballet dancer and socialite. Simon was a tempestuous youngster. Even he's acknowledged that, as a child, he was a handful and a half. He told The Sun, "I was drinking and smoking at 8, and I once nearly burned the house down. I was trying to prove to my brother that Father Christmas wasn't real, so I found the costume and set fire to the beard."
Difficult child, I'd say, yes. I've got to be honest, yes.
He also developed a habit when playing Monopoly of flipping over the board whenever the game didn't go his way. During an interview with GQ, Simon stood by his poor sportsmanship, saying, "It's the worst feeling in the world, and you know you've still got a couple of hours to go of utter misery. Just tip the board up." That rebellious nature came into play when he was sent to Dover College, a prestigious boarding school.
Simon refused to do anything that he didn't want to do himself.
Simon, however, didn't feel it was a good fit, and at age 16, dropped out. Simon's father eventually got him a job in the mailroom of famed British record label EMI. Simon Cowell left EMI during the early 1980s to form E&S Music with his boss at EMI, Ellis Rich. The company created several hits, but Cowell eventually decided he needed to leave. In 1985, he entered a partnership that launched an independent label, Fanfare Records. After some initial success, the company hit a rough patch financially, which grew so dire that it nearly forced Cowell into bankruptcy. Cowell told Fortune, "Once I started to make some money, I bought a Porsche, bought a house. By the time I was 28, I was broke, and I had to go back and live with my parents."
One thing that Simon Cowell understands extremely well is that failure is the making of the man.
As humbling as that setback was, Cowell picked himself up and landed another gig, working as an A&R consultant for BMG Records. This time, Cowell approached things a bit differently, embracing a new slow and steady strategy after the hard lesson he'd learned. For the next few years, Cowell built his career at BMG, steadily and methodically. As Simon Cowell made his mark at BMG, he began gravitating toward novelty acts. This led Cowell to produce the 1993 musical oddity, WrestleMania, the album for WWE, in addition to top-selling albums from puppet duo Zig and Zag and the Teletubbies. Cowell also experienced success in legitimate pop music, signing such acts as Five, Westlife, and Sonia. In fact, during his time with BMG, Cowell's acts sold more than 150 million albums, with 17 singles topping the UK charts. One of Cowell's most successful sparks of inspiration came after the characters played by actors Robson Green and Jerome Flynn performed an impromptu cover of the Righteous Brothers' Unchained Melody on their TV show Soldier Soldier. Cowell smelled a hit and tracked down the actors so he could entice them to record the song as a single. Neither, however, was interested, but Cowell was relentless. Cowell told Oprah Winfrey, "I drove them so mad that I actually got a solicitor's letter from one of them saying I had to stop harassing his client." Cowell then contacted Robson's mother, badgering her to convince him to sign on. Ultimately, they did, and that record wound up going #1, staying there for 7 weeks. Robson and Jerome, as this new musical act was dubbed, went on to record several singles and albums, experiencing more success in music than they had as actors. In 2001, Simon Cowell and Spice Girls manager Simon Fuller joined forces to devise a new TV talent competition. On the series, aspiring singers would be evaluated by a panel of experts, with contestants eliminated until just one was left standing. As Cowell explained during an appearance on CNN's Larry King Live, they initially pitched the show to American television networks. Most were not interested, so they then shopped the project around England. ITV expressed interest, and Pop Idol made its debut in December. The series caught fire, becoming a surprise hit, with ratings growing exponentially each week as viewers became increasingly invested in the singers. When the finale aired in February 2002, nearly 14 million British viewers tuned in, representing 59% of total viewership and bringing ITV its highest ratings in years. Meanwhile, it was estimated that 8.7 million people voted via telephone. That runaway success was not lost on the US networks that turned down the show. During a 2002 appearance on British Chat Show This Morning, Cowell was asked about bringing Pop Idol to American television and said he was interested.
I think it's the right thing to do. It might be fun.
Among those entranced by Pop Idol was Elizabeth Murdoch, daughter of Rupert Murdoch, who convinced the media magnate to snap up the format and replicate it on his Fox network. A judging panel was assembled, including 80s pop star Paula Abdul and record producer Randy Jackson. Producers also wanted Cowell, but he was initially reticent. He told CNN's Larry King, "I thought, I've done it once in England. Let somebody else do it." And then I was eventually talked into it. Expectations were low when the show, renamed American Idol: The Search for a Superstar, debuted in the summer of 2002. American Idol proved to be a monster hit that went on to dominate television for more than a decade, and Cowell was its undisputed star. American viewers, in fact, had never quite seen anyone like Mr. Nasty, as he'd been dubbed by the press, whose withering put-downs of untalented singers were beyond scathing.
Is there anything that I can do to improve?
Leave.
A staggering 23 million viewers, a massive number for a summertime show, tuned in to watch Kelly Clarkson declare the show's first winner. American Idol became the year's highest-rated new series, while subsequent seasons averaged 30 million. By 2004, American Idol continued to rise in popularity. Back in his native England, Simon Cowell announced plans to launch a new TV singing competition. Dubbed The X Factor, the format was nearly identical to the Idol format, with two key differences. The contestants would be winnowed down into 3 teams, each of which would be guided by one of the judges, and the competition was open to people of all ages, ditching American Idol's 16 to 28 age limit. Cowell told BBC News, "Hopefully we're going to be able to appeal to somebody over the age of 35 who keeps saying to me there aren't any artists I like in the competition. It's amazing, but we haven't catered for older record buyers who want to buy into the new Cliff Richard or whatever." At the judging table, Cowell rehashed his Idol shtick, delivering brutal takedowns of singers who weren't up to snuff.
What do you think I'm going to say to you?
No.
Correct. Goodbye.
He was joined by Sharon Osbourne and Irish music manager Louis Walsh, known for overseeing the careers of such popular British acts as Westlife and Boyzone. When The X Factor made its debut on British television, ratings were strong and just got stronger in subsequent years, climbing to more than 19 million viewers by 2010. Sadly, all good things must come to an end. In 2021, ITV canceled the show after 17 years. In 2006, Simon Cowell was flying high, with American Idol a major hit in the US and The X Factor burning up ratings in the UK. That was when he pitched ITV another competition series, which he called Britain's Got Talent. Once again aping the Idol format, this show expanded beyond singers to include all types of acts, ranging from comedians to ventriloquists to dancers to magicians and more. Cowell produced a pilot, in which he and Piers Morgan judged. In a British documentary, The Talent Show Story, Cowell recalled, "ITV didn't want it. Nobody wanted it. But somebody from NBC in America heard I was making a pilot, met with me in LA, and literally bought the show in the room." That led to the 2006 premiere of America's Got Talent, in which Cowell was executive producer, but for a change, not a judge. When AGT proved to be successful, ITV reconsidered, and in 2007 launched Britain's Got Talent, with Cowell ensconced behind the judging table alongside Morgan and actor Amanda Holden.
Hello, Rupert. His hair feels a little bit like yours, Simon.
Cowell's winning streak continued, with Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent both becoming hits in their respective countries. Meanwhile, the format has been utilized in nations all over the world, from Albania to Vietnam. In 2014, Guinness World Records declared Got Talent to be the most successful reality television format on the planet. In 2010, Simon Cowell exited American Idol after the end of its 9th season in order to launch a US version of his Brit hit The X Factor the following year. Joining Cowell at the judging table were music producer Antonio L.A. Reid, Pussycat Dolls' Nicole Scherzinger, and fellow American Idol alum Paula Abdul. In Season 2, Cowell shook things up by firing host Steve Jones and ousting judges Abdul and Scherzinger. He brought in singers Demi Lovato and Britney Spears. Khloe Kardashian and Mario Lopez were tapped to host. For the third season, Spears and Reid exited, replaced by Destiny's Child star Kelly Rowland and Mexican pop star Paulina Rubio. The new show caught a lot of heat, ranging from criticism of Kardashian's abysmal hosting skills to an admission that autotune was used to enhance contestants' vocals. The X Factor was canceled stateside after 3 seasons. The UK version, however, continued for many more seasons. Interestingly, the X Factor may be poised for a comeback. In a 2022 interview with Access Hollywood, Cowell revealed he wasn't opposed to reviving the show, and if he did, it would be in the US, not the UK. During his years as a successful TV star, Simon Cowell reportedly had an active love life. Among his many girlfriends were singer Sanita, model and TV host Terry Seymour, makeup artist Mishkan Hosseini, and former Baywatch star Carmen Electra. In 2004, Simon met Lauren Silverman, wife of his close friend, real estate developer Andrew Silverman. They remained friendly over the years, so much so that rumors surfaced in 2012 that they were having an affair. The following year, people reported that Simon and Lauren were expecting a child together. Understandably, the Silvermans began divorce proceedings. In 2014, Simon and Lauren welcomed a son, Eric Philip Cowell. Unsurprisingly, parenthood changed Simon Cowell. In 2021, after being with Lauren for nearly a decade, Simon Cowell had some more happy relationship news. He proposed. A source told People, they are both super happy. They've been together a long time now and adore each other, so it's not a huge surprise to their close friends. Of the relationship's scandalous origins, Simon told the Daily Mail in 2015, "I'm not proud of the circumstances. I can't hold my head up about it." When the X Factor was canceled in 2014, Simon Cowell suddenly found himself in an unusual position. For the first time since the start of American Idol in 2002, he had no presence on American television. An opportunity presented itself in 2015 when radio legend Howard Stern exited America's Got Talent after serving as a judge since 2012. It was later announced that Cowell would be stepping in, marking his first time as a judge on AGT. When the 11th season premiered, Cowell joined existing judges Mel B, Howie Mandel, and Heidi Klum.
Was it your idea to replace Howard, or was it NBC's?
You think because I'm a producer, I chose me?
Yes.
As Cowell explained in an interview with the New York Times, judging on America's Got Talent felt simultaneously foreign and familiar, but he quickly fell into a groove. He told the publication, "I was really confident until I sat in the chair and you kind of go, oh God, this is a big show here. I felt nervous. And then this 83-year-old woman in a leotard came on and stood on her head and sang the national anthem. And I said, you know what? I'm home. And I never looked back." In 2020, Simon Cowell was enjoying some downtime in Malibu when he decided to take his new electric bike out for a spin. It didn't go well. Cowell fell off his bike on the property, breaking his back. Cowell was hospitalized and underwent emergency surgery. A source told People it was a 5-hour surgery, and he has had to have a number of fusions and metal rods put into his back. After surviving the accident that nearly paralyzed him, Cowell had to take a break from work. America's Got Talent brought in a fill-in judge for Cowell. The reality TV veteran addressed his injury during an interview with Extra in 2021.
I really nearly, smashed my spine to pieces.
But he told People magazine he'd been doing so much physiotherapy after the surgery that he felt he was in better shape than he was prior to being injured, saying, "I had to do so much exercise now. I actually feel better than I did before the accident." During the course of 2 decades on British and American TV, Simon Cowell has been responsible for launching the careers of numerous stars. It was during his tenure on American Idol, for example, that viewers were first introduced to Kelly Clarkson, Clay Aiken, Carrie Underwood, and Jennifer Hudson, among others. Meanwhile, the UK version of The X Factor was responsible for discovering Leona Lewis, girl group Little Mix, and One Direction. Cowell has also been successful at finding stars on his Got Talent shows. Britain's Got Talent is responsible for the career of Susan Boyle, while the US version can lay claim to discovering comedian Melissa Villaseñor, who went on to join Saturday Night Live. As Cowell explained to Extra, the fact that so many stars have emerged from his various television shows is proof that Idol, X Factor, and the Got Talent franchise have actually changed lives.
That's probably the thing I'm most proud of, is that the shows we've made have gone on to do what we intended them to do.
Simon Cowell may have arrived in America via American Idol in 2002 as an unknown, but 2 decades on, he's one of the most famous people on television. He's also earned numerous accolades celebrating that mammoth success. That was evident in 2004, when he was named as one of the Time 100, an honor that was repeated a few years later in 2010. Also in 2010, Cowell was presented with the BAFTA Special Award at the British Academy Television Awards. Meanwhile, on the other side of the pond, he's received 5 Emmy nominations, all for his role as judge on American Idol. In 2018, he received his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He joked at the ceremony, "Why did this take so long? If anyone says fame is a bad thing, I don't know what you're talking about. It's the best thing in the world." Beyond the awards and honors, becoming a television star has also made Cowell ridiculously wealthy. His net worth, in fact, has been estimated at approximately $600 million. Not one penny of that fortune, by the way, will be inherited by his son. He told the Mirror, "I'm going to leave my money to somebody, a charity probably, kids and dogs. I don't believe in passing on from one generation to another." While he grew and aged in front of television audiences for all those years, recently, Cowell's facial appearance has changed a little more drastically. Cowell is not unaware of all the plastic surgery speculation out there and has taken to having a sense of humor about it. That was evident during the 2023 season opener of Britain's Got Talent, when hosts Ant and Dec cheekily addressed the rumors. Dec told viewers, "We have a new face joining the judging panel." Ant quipped, "What? Simon has a new face?" Interviewed by The Mirror about the host's jab, Cowell laughed it off, saying, "I think it's hysterical. I mean, it just makes me laugh. I haven't had a facelift or anything. I've had a bit of Botox or whatever, but nothing drastic. So when I hear about this stuff, honestly, it does make me laugh." That wasn't the first time that Cowell had commented about his face. Speaking with The Sun in 2022, he confirmed that he used facial fillers, but conceded that he may have overdone it, saying, "There was a stage where I might have gone a bit too far. I saw a picture of me from before the other day and didn't recognize it as me first of all. Enough was enough. There is no filler in my face at all now. Zero.